Welcome back to my channel. So this week's on the new Daredevil, a lot has happened. So we start off with Point Break, aka Bullseye. We see he's living just a normal life, or so it may have seemed. But we enter the diner shop, him just really just wanting a milkshake, um, thinking that everything has changed. We see him turn back into his persona, Bullseye, and this was a treat this week. We see him really go off, um, just going crazy as he normally does, and we see that he's just chaotic. Wants the world to know who he is, and just wants justice. As we can see that everything's crazy in New York, we head back with Karen and Matt as we can see all the survivors that escaped with them, just trying to get some intel to get on Fisk. And as we notice that we see one of the survivors from the North Star, seeing that if, like I said, we can get some information on Fisk, singing to bring him down, just getting some more information on that North Star ship, what it was carrying, the missiles, seeing if they can use video footage, whatever is necessary to take Fist down, they will do it. And as you see, they're just brainstorming, seeing what they can do, and seeing everything is right and necessary. We head back with Bullseye, as we can see that he's planning and discovers that there is a fight between Mayor Fisk, seeing that this is his opportunity to, for once and for all, take him down, and we'll see if it works. Now we head back with Mayor Kingpin's task force. As you can see, they realize everything's starting to crumble, so they're trying to get any bit of information, intel as they can. Using really any force by any means necessary, trying to get under these people's skin. As long as they're able to clean up, the New York's streets, they'll do anything that they can. Now, back with Mayor Kingpin, we see that, things aren't going his way. He's pulling his men together, seeing what they can do, seeing if they can cooperate, get things together, planning everything out. And we notice that with Matthew Lillard's character, we see him as somewhat as an ally, but he plans on double crossing Kingpin to see, what's going on. But as we noticed that the plans didn't go their way. As much as we know that Kingpin is falling, he's still the Kingpin and he's able to overcome by any means necessary. Now back with Karen, she's trying to help get some intel and information, help Matt out, while at the same time we see that the governor is still trying to keep allies with Mayor Kingpin and Miss Fisk as well, and we'll see what they got planned, later on. Now back with Angela, we see that she's a kid, still trying to do the right thing for her uncle, trying to get justice, working with the good guys, working with Karen and Matt. We see that she's trying to get some information. Hopefully, it will get delivered to BB for them to, report and expose Mary Kingpin once and for all. But we do see that, her story continues. Later that day, we see Matt going undercover as a task force agent, trying to get some intel, seeing if he can find where, you know, Bullseye left off. As you can see, we see him using his powers, using his extra senses to be able to smell, and understand the scenario, what happened and took place at that diner. We see that he's able to use his powers and be able to find a clue that can lead him to Bullseye. As you see, he goes over the diner, able to find a coin. Only he's able to see that it's been from the cathedral that he grew up going to. Now, as we see, he goes there to get some answers, talk to one of the priests, and see if he can get the answers that he's looking for, and once and for all, find Bullseye. So later that night, we head back to Bullseye's apartment. As you can see, everything seems so calm, cool, and collect. Point Break got his Walkman, put on some music to keep him calm, and then out of nowhere, we are hit with a great artistic scenery of a battle between Daredevil and Bullseye. Them going back and forth using their skill set to confront each other. As you can see, Daredevil is doing everything in his power to take out Bullseye, whereas you see Bullseye is just trying to protect himself, letting Daredevil know, hey man, we're on the same side. But as you can see, it ends with them for a draw at a bit of a moment, them going back and forth, knocking each other out, doing their best, to do what they can. And out of nowhere, we see Bullseye still losing his mind, but able to flee away and get away from the scene, and Daredevil not knowing where he's at. As we're approaching the fight, we notice Daredevil and company trying to do anything and everything they can to get any leverage off of Kingpin. As we notice BB going out to the fight, we notice a fan coming to, take a picture with her, knowing that it's the dude from earlier, from Angela, to give her the intel on Kingpin to expose him once and for all. Now, as we see Kingpin getting ready for the fight, his men come telling him that they got everything under control. So for Kingpin just to go out there like nothing's happened and they will handle the situation. And as we notice, Kingpin overpowers and overcomes in the fight, taking him down. And we see him slowly starting to lose control and expose himself almost to the public. But we see Bullseye causing mayhem, taking Mayor Kingpin's henchmen down, one by one. And we're left with the final scene of Bullseye, Mayor Kingpin, and Vanessa. We see Bullseye able to get a head off, even while getting hit. And out of nowhere, we see Daredevil come in to save the day, saving Bullseye from Mayor Kingpin and being able to escape. Now, in the very end, we are hit with the Easter egg of the Watcher, you know, standing around, seeing all how this has taken place and how this will connect with the bigger MCU universe. As we see that Daredevil and Bullseye are able to escape, and we're left with Kingpin being all distraught. And we'll have to see in the next episode what he plans on doing and how things will turn out for New York City.